Hello, welcome to Blaine's Escape Corner. I am Blaine. This is my corner, and this is where we talk about things that help us escape. This is also where you watch me live tweet and message that the show has now gone live because I am not a bot using normal tuber. I am a I'll just type it out manually kind of guy. E-Class, hello, how goes things? Untangle these dang headphones in case I ever need those tonight. All right, gee baloo. With the AC on, it's 83 degrees in this room. That's pretty toasty. All right, live now. Up. Up. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bum. Thank you, Steven, for the tweet. I'm retweeting the tweet about me, and then you can retweet the tweet that I retweeted. Then we can retweet it all over again. Pop culture popping off. Nicely done. How are we doing? Doing well in the car with no AC, so that's not great. Ooh. Talk about cars with no AC. I remember I got a car that had AC, and then the AC decided that the AC clutch, the part that like grabs on so that it you don't want to be powering your AC at all times. You want to have it be just sort of spinning free, and then it grabs on and it actually powers the condenser. That little clutch bit broke. And I was like, okay, no problem. I've got a lot of other problems with this vehicle. I had done an engine swap, so I had the AC from the engine that went into my car. There was one of those spare parts they ripped off because it didn't need to go in. So I had a backup AC. I was like, cool, backup AC. And the shop's like, hey, it doesn't plug in. It's got the wrong plug. And I was like, oh, okay. So I rewired it and made it the right plug. And I brought it back, and they were like, it's got the wrong hoses. I'm like, you told me that it had the wrong plug, but not that it had the wrong hoses? What? Who does this? Why did you check everything to see if everything would have fit or not? You looked at the little tiny like electrical plug and you're like, that don't fit. And then you didn't look at the fact that the like actual AC lines for the actual coolant that makes it cold didn't even remotely fit into the unit that I got from the takeout. Whew. I was upset. That car still doesn't have an AC, and my only reasoning now is that it's basically my rally car, so I don't have to drive it ever. So it just sits there waiting for me to finally put a cage in it, so that my wife will be comfortable enough to let me go do the Northwest Rally racing. Yeah, I had that car. I drove it around with no AC for a very long time. Very, very long time. And then we get like a brand new car, and it's like, oh, my AC is gonna stop working. And it's like, what? Why? Why is it always the AC? I'd rather the car not work than the AC not work at this point in my life. I would rather it just be like, oh no, you're gonna have to walk. And I'm like, yeah, walking sucks, but at least I know I'll get there rather than having to sit in a freaking box. That's the worst. I feel for you, E-Class. I feel for you. I spent years without an AC in a vehicle. Years in vehicles that didn't even have an AC as an option, so. Ooh, why did the bear's ear? Why was it not on? That's weird. Okay. Ugh, excuse me. Burping over here. Put this phone over there. Put that phone over there. Ding dang work phone. Tonight, we're cracking open once again the show Chikubai. I don't think I really talked about this last time as much. It's very, very good. It's actually a tokubetsu, so it's like a specialty sort of premium junmai. They show +5 on the sake meter with a 1.6 acidity. That warm room temperature of 40 degrees, or warm at 40 degrees, room temperature, or chilled are all excellent. So we're gonna do this at the what is it? 80? What's 80? 83 degrees to Celsius. Fahrenheit, F to C. There we go. 28.3. That's what I'm going to drink this at. Because AC is an add-on. At this point, is it? I feel like an AC is like a starter. It's like, yeah, this engine needs the AC as part of it. Oh, I understand what you're saying. It also still frustrates me. But like stuff that's part of engines break too, right? Like water pumps and oil pumps and fuel pumps, and really anything that pumps liquid around a vehicle is just prone to breaking, I think. That's just they build them to not work forever. With no AC back in the day, vent windows were your best friend. Oh, they don't do vent windows anymore. Those are the best, where you had the little for anyone who's younger than me, I guess. No one is getting a new car without AC unless it's a Jeep or a motorcycle. And even those have AC. I know guys that plug their riding suit into their bike and they're going around and it literally ACs their body. But yeah, for anyone younger than me, vent windows were this little triangle window that was in front of your like roll down up and down window, which you actually had to crank. And you opened it and it rotated around so that it would just throw air into you. It was the best things ever. You take it back, no one buys a Jeep that aren't bougie. Oh my goodness, that's true. That Jeep Gladiator, the truck, that thing. That thing, like, we all made fun of the Tesla Cybertruck when it came out, that like a kid drew it, but like a child with blocks built the Jeep Gladiator. Let's be real here. We've got a square Jeep. What do? What if we just put a rectangle bed on it and just have it be this square and this rectangle? You know, we just blocks together. You guys ever leave a YouTube comment and then someone replies telling you you're wrong? Leave an explanation as to why, but everything else they just agrees the original comment. Probably. I feel like anytime I've posted anything, people just tell me I'm wrong. That tends to be my life. Especially around YouTube. I feel like I'm not even being disagreeable. I'm just saying, oh, that was an interesting point. Here's what I think. And then they're like, well, you didn't interpret it properly. And it's like, all right, go back to your... we don't have anime hermeneutics over here. CJ8 Scramblers back in the day had it right. No, you know what had it right? Oh, here, let me pull it up. Those, oh, hold on. So the CJ8 Scrambler is a fantastic, like, that's a real, like, Willys. But when you talk to the guys that do, like, the crawling, this one, these guys are you want something to go off-road with, you buy yourself a freaking Suzuki Samurai. You buy yourself a Hot Wheels and then you crawl some rocks with it, because you spent $5 on the car, so you can spend 15 grand on all the wheel, suspension, snorkel, lighting, except everything you want. And the thing is so light, if you roll it, you just get out and push it over, and you feel like the Big Show at a wrestling event. Those are the off-roaders. If you're not going to take my if you're not taking my bug eye through the dirt here in the Northwest, but I would highly recommend taking my bug eye through the dirt before you start Jeep crawling. That is a different thing all in of itself. Tires are all wiggly wobbly everywhere. Oh, did I compie everyone? Compie everyone. Get a little double cheers. I'm not against a double cheersing in a day. Awesome. All right. There's a poll as to who suffered more, Subaru or Rika. Or probably Rika, as they have suffered both in similar ways. You've seen golf carts bigger than that, Samurai? I ran through a golf cart's windscreen one time. I was at like a kids camp. I was in the band that was playing for the week for the kids thing. And the counselors, who were basically our same age, had like a go-kart that they were like driving around the facility in. And then they sort of like sat there and were like shouting at me. And then they sort of like moved a little bit and then moved a little bit. And I was like, oh, they want to play chicken. So I just ran at them. And then they started gunning it at me. And then they hit the brakes and I jumped and I hit the windshield things are just like plexiglass. And so I ran into it and it just sort of like bent and like popped out of its place. And then we we spent like, I don't know, 5 minutes. Like it didn't take long just to like snap it back into place after we were done. But like nobody expected me to jump through a windshield. And I was like, you act like this is the first time that I've rolled up the windshield of a car, like some of my bandmates. I was like, you were there when my buddy almost hit me, and I had to like roll up the side of his Saturn Vue. broke his antenna and everything. Did the owner try to make you pay to have it replaced? No. Hopefully I described the answer to your question there. You used to own a Geo Tracker, which was rebadged Suzuki Sidekick. Interesting. I didn't know the Sidekick was a Geo. This is interesting now to me. Huh. Yeah. Thanks for the chill Friday night. Yeah, I saw you guys in the Discord chatting away on Friday. I was at the game, which I don't care about baseball in like any way, but I enjoy supporting my wife hanging out with her friends who really like baseball, and it's sort of one of those like couples things. So I wasn't off having a blast without everyone. So don't think that. But I did find a Beecher's Cheese location in the field, which was fantastic. I freaking love it, and I had like probably a gallon worth of beer. And you if you want to see what happens when I go to a baseball game, go look at my weigh-in from Saturday. I think I went from 170 to 175 overnight. That'll explain how the game went. How it actually went, we lost, as is my understanding of baseball in Seattle. We do really well for a period of time, and then we just start losing again. But there were fireworks and a drone show, so that was pretty cool. And apparently the All-Star game, West All-Star game, is going to be at I always want to call it Safeco Field, T-Mobile Stadium next year. So that's happening. That may be an exciting thing or not. If you got a girlfriend that liked baseball, you'd be surprised. I got a girlfriend and subsequently a wife. Mariners fleeced the Reds for Suarez and Winker. That sounds inappropriate. That sounds like incredibly inappropriate. No, my girlfriend and subsequently wife, and whom I love dearly, has had a father who has passed that was extremely into sports. Football was his favorite. He was a fantasy football guy through and through, but he was a Seattle home team guy forever. So Mariners, Sonics at the time, all of that stuff. Really into it. So I understand it from hanging out with him and connecting with him over that, because while I may not enjoy specifically watching the sports, because I think when you've got two dudes and you want to see who's the better of them, you should just have them fight as opposed to put a ball between them with a bunch of rules. I do enjoy the gamemanship of things. So like, we were able to connect there. Plus once you turn it into a fantasy thing and I'm just looking at numbers, it's like, okay, we can do some football together, father-in-law. So we did. But baseball, she still enjoys going to and having those times. So I'm not gonna say no, because it's a fun outing in the city. 90% of people call it Safeco. Yeah, I call it a kingdom that opens. Oh my goodness, language. Yeah, because Winker, Winker's fantasy baseball chat on the Yahoo app is full of randos making inappropriate innuendos. Innuendos, nice. Your first baseball game, you didn't have your glasses then, so you had no idea what was going on. My first baseball game that I attended was with a youth group event. So it was one of those like, the youth group is all going to the baseball field and blah blah. We went, and it was just all of us chatting for most of the time. And I made $20 by the hot girl at the time put her gum in our little trash gum thing, and someone was like, "I'll give you $20 if you eat it." And I was like, "It's freaking gum. Who cares?" So I made $20. That was my first baseball game. I have no idea what happened on the field, and I still don't to this day often know what's going on the field. Oh my goodness. You do like going to a baseball game, wouldn't bother watching on TV though. You had an indirect kiss, Chad? Yeah. Yeah, I was Sigma pre-Sigma. I think she was dating my cousin at the time. So maybe that made it even less weird, because it's just who cares? I know this person. It's not like it's that big a deal. But to other people, they're willing to throw down $20. I'm like, hell yeah, $20 in 2003. That's $1 million today. I'm pretty sure that's how inflation works. Oh my goodness! Looking at the tracker and the sidekick, I now see that they are the same damn car. All right, we can keep talking this. I'm gonna start weaving in anime chat while we go through this, just to get through the what I've watched and been catching up on here. Knew a guy who created 2 leagues and 20 teams for a coin flip version of baseball. Only he played and did it for about 10 years. I don't know what's weird is the fact that you knew someone who did that, or you called him a nutter. It seems like a very is that an English phrase? Who actually says nutter? So in a way, you kissed your cousin? What, have you not? I'll grab something off the floor and eat it for a joke. I haven't gotten sick yet. That's because you do that. You got them crazy floor, everybody else is 5-second rule, and you're like, I eat the 5-second germs. We'll make them part of me. You say nutter. Those indirect kisses will get you mono. Yes, that was the big fear back in those days, was she got mono, he got mono, they got mono. It was constant. I remember those days of oh no, they got mono, and everyone's like, wait, what's mono? And they're like, the kissing disease, and you're like, they kissed somebody. You just didn't give a shit because they were sick. You're like, whoa, they kissed somebody. That's crazy. You're listening to Harry Potter language transfer. Okay, that makes sense. The germs know to wait 5 seconds because it's the rule. No, actually what it is, E-Class, is it's not necessarily that they're waiting. It's that, inertia, right? So Newton's laws mean that this eraser and this Gundam, right? It takes more force to move this Gundam than it does to move this eraser. Things that are bigger and heavier take more force to get going. They take longer to speed up. You see it in traffic all the time. Little sports cars can go faster, quicker than a larger vehicle. And so the small bacteria that anyone can handle are very small, very light, and they get on your food just immediately. But those big bacteria, the ones that really could kill you, it takes them some more inertia, some more momentum. They got to build up some speed before they finally hit your food. And that's the 5-second rule, really, is it takes 5 seconds for those big slow boys to really mount up and get on your food in such a way that it's actually dangerous. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. If anyone believes what I just said, go get yourself examined. You probably need to. Gonna report me for misinformation. qualification. No, I qualified it at the end there. Oh, those indirect kisses will get you monkeypox. There's something else will get you monkeypox, from what I understand. Okay, I watched the first episode of Uncle from Another World. It's exactly what everybody says it is. And it's fun, it's fantastic, it's silly. It's a guy who's been in a coma for 17 years, but, you know, he was in another world the whole time, trying to get used to our society again. So he's not an idiot, he's not dumb. But he, you know, he's trying to, like, reintegrate, and it's fun. Plus he's brought some of his magic skills across, and he's not good at the internet. Like, everything about it is exactly the kind of fun show I was hoping it would be. Looks like we're leading into some more fun, like, romance intertwines and stuff that'll pop up later, but as of right now, I just really like the idea of someone coming back to our world, having some really basic maybe if the indirect kiss was in a butthole. If you eat somebody's bubble gum that they were chewing with their butthole, you may have a different problem. Monkeypox may be lower on your list of things that you should be concerned about. You weren't sure if I was serious. You were wanting to tell you the dog wasn't taken to the farm. Yes, no, I like to joke. I like to make sillies. I like to have some goofs and gaffs. Anyway, first episode of Uncle from Another World definitely sets it up to be a good show, and I'm excited for it. One we haven't talked about in a while, couple of Cuckoos. Look, I can say it now. Episode 11, so still technically in the spring episodes, kind of. I don't know how to judge this one, really. You know, it comes out in the spring 2022, and it says, oh, it's going to be 24 episodes long. You're like, okay, cool, that's 2 seasons worth, or, you know, 2 cores, however you want to count it up. But then it's delayed, so it doesn't come out for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then it starts. So episode 1 is like 4 weeks in. So now, like, episode 13 is out now, and it's like, is that summer season, or is that the end of the last season? It's hard to quantify it, but I will say episode 11, very fun episode. We've got the lights going out. We've got some more direct, like, hey, this is kind of a weird thing to go over, where your assumed sister isn't your sister, and now you're betrothed to her fiance, and you know, she loves her new sister. She also loves you. She doesn't want to lose her brother, and then this weird complicated thing of like, oh, but he's not my brother, you know, and let's be adults and let's, like, talk about it, as opposed to just letting it be this weird underlying thing. So I like that they're addressing it as an episode. I also like that Nagi is very clearly in the she's my sister, and, like, you know, I'm gonna respect her feelings. I'm gonna treat her like an adult woman now, but still being like, no, she's my sister. I want Hiro-san. Like, I'm still about that. It's called Sumal. What, couple of Cuckoos is called Sumal? Have they introduced the childhood friend yet? No? Unless you count not blood sister as a childhood friend. I don't know that we've gotten a childhood friend archetype yet. At least not by episode 11. We might get one you know, in the next few episodes. Oh, summer fall put together. You whooshed that on me. I didn't catch that. It's called Samal. It's a Samal show. It's very good show. It's more like the sister's sister, and the school rival. Yeah. To be fair, they are the only 3 that are on the poster, but we haven't seen any indication that there couldn't be somebody else, other than the fact that there's no way that this dolt has any childhood friends other than his sister, because he spends his entire life studying and trying to be better, so that he can be the smartest kid at school. Like, it looks like his whole life has been spent studying. So if he's got a childhood best friend that isn't his sister that we've been introduced to, I don't know how they would have kept it a secret this far into the show. It's Fummer. I prefer Fummer. Yeah. Gemini. I think you stole that one. Happy Fummer, everyone. We can have some fun in the sun. Talking about the Fummer and Scooby. Do y'all want to see something atrocious? Absolutely atrocious. And you can tell me if I'm crazy here. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Your favorite is the fourth one. Nah, my ginormous brain concocted. Oh, hey Joe, how are you doing? You're just in time to look at one of the... I'm calling this gross, but I'll qualify that. So, Casio, I freaking love Casio watches. I love the G-Shock. I love the 2100. I love the 2200. I think that silicone bright colored watch is one of the most fun things you can put on your wrist, and also one of the most subtle things you can put on your wrist. Casio also has some really good other stuff in their lineup, but primarily it's just going for that shock proof, that waterproof, right? This is the Baby G. The Baby G is supposedly the ladies' version, not the baby's version. But they came out with a Sailor Moon Pretty Guardian combo, and this thing looks like a child's watch. This thing looks like a child's watch, but they're not. They're marketing it for people who love Sailor Moon, which, you know, there's probably some little girls nowadays who are into Sailor Moon, but I'm gonna venture to guess the majority of Sailor Moon fans are adults. And the adult that wears this watch with this band, and it's the 110, is it just me? Am I out of line here? Am I out of line? Am I crazy that this is a weird watch for an adult to wear? Like, I don't know. A child's watch for women that grown men will buy. Okay. Gemini is slaughtering it tonight. It is weird. It is weird. And you nailed it. The problem I think that I have with it most of all is how simple it would have been to make a good one. You've got bright yellow moon shapes, right? Sailor Moon. She's got the red with the dots in the hair thing, you know, the gold and the red. That's the Sailor Moon, right? So why is it deep purple? And why does it have a bunch of funky stuff? Make this a bright yellow bezel. Wait, you can't see mine. There we go. Bright yellow bezel on this. We know Casio can do bright colors, right? So give me a bright yellow bezel and give me a red background. You can make the hands gold so that they stand off from the red background, but give me this hair bun thing on the wrist, or maybe mimic the pink from the brooch. You know, bring something from the actual character into the watch. And then for our straps, we're going to get into either sort of a longitudinal striping so it matches the skirt. Maybe we do the 2 white stripes down the center of the band so that it looks sort of like her collar. Maybe we mimic the necklace, but we bring stuff in from Sailor Moon. We don't just say like, Sailor Moon's got hearts and stars and rainbows, clovers and blue moons, and we make it all muddy blue. I don't know why I'm being so mean to this, but I think I've got a good idea. I think I could make it a better watch. I don't know why. I don't know why they came up with this. But that exists. That's a thing. Instead of her hands pointing at the numbers, use her legs. There you go. You'll take their entire stack. And I'll be legit. I'll show you. I'm not a guy who's just here judging some watch company for their crap. I have a closet full of like collab shoes and other garbage that I don't need. And you see all the garbage behind me here that, you know, doesn't really do anything in my day-to-day life. But I'm not talking out of my butt. I'm a man of many Casios. I have the 2200, the 2100, 2 of the 110 GAs, because this is the gangster watch, right? I love this orange one though. It's probably one of my favorites, the 2200. I freaking love it. So I'm not coming at this as a guy who's like, well, I could have done better, and I've never been in the scene before. Like I know those are just my Casio watches, right? Like I'm about it. I'm about it, and this is what I would have done. I would have bought one. I'd been like, honey, I know you're not a huge fan of watches, but here's a watch that's gonna sit on your dresser, I guess. Pointing the number using her legs. And better yet, if you could get it so that as the legs came around, like the skirt started to flop, and she does hold it up with like other hands like pop up, like, no. Anime style. Oh, get out of here, CBR. Redesign in Twitter, shame Casio. Yes. Do it. Well, let's not shame them. Let's give them better ideas. Hey, Casio, who designed your watch? Had they never seen Sailor Moon? And you just gave them a sticker sheet? And they were like, oh, I guess we'll work with this. Oh my goodness. All right, is it main topic time? I actually have a main topic tonight. And theoretically, internet that will stick around for the entirety of the main topic. And you make a watch with those cousins that are very close with one another. Hey, what are you saying? What's wrong? What are you trying to say here? My cousins are like my brothers. Should have incorporated the moon staff. Exactly. Again, use things that are a part of the actual character and not just ideas of I don't know, just things that like would show up on an Anne Frank notebook. Who am I getting DMs live? Oh no, he's talking about his own thing. Never mind. Topic is escapism. It's always escapism. But we're going to get really specific because something that I always think is fantastic. As you all know, I love when an escapism teaches me about something else. When it says, hey, here's a thing you weren't thinking about, and now we can let you know how somebody thinks or what they're thinking about or how something works entirely. If you want to go into the ones like the games where they'll actually teach you about how something makes. Would that make us escapees? It might, actually. Blaine's escapees. You guys can call yourselves whatever you want to call yourselves. I will not stop you from coming up with an idea for that. Worst fan name ever. Yeah, but you could all wear orange jumpsuits at every like fan meetup that we have. It's the escapees! Get them! Comic. Worst fan name ever. Very classic. So I once again, I always think about this stuff, and then one of these articles pops by, and I'm like, yeah, let's take a look and see if we can get into this, right? Because we all know that like the area's beliefs are going to infect and involve the escapism, the stories, the everything about a culture, right? In Western storytelling, you have very predominantly Catholic, even through the Dark Ages, and so a lot of the storytelling comes from that like single hero going through the hero's journey and coming out of it on the other end. In the East, not so much. You have Indian culture with Hinduism, Buddhism, where the exit from the conflict is sort of the resolution of the conflict. And you have, you know, everybody pulls from whatever their religion is, however valid it may be, and that's what really influences a lot of storytelling, a lot of the oldest storytelling. And so I came across this Japan's kami, which I think is an interesting way to title your article, because kami is literally the idea of like a spirit in Japanese. It started out probably and has become sort of a reference to just like how to take care of something, you know, like the kami of the rice. We gotta, you know, make sure that the rice is doing well, or watering it properly, all this stuff. And then it turns into like practically worship, and then it sort of hits the other end where now it's we just take these tenets of things that function to keep rice cultivated, and we're reapplying it, right? So it's a very, very interesting culture over in Japan, with the way everybody sort of acknowledges and talks about spirits, but also doesn't really believe in the spirits. It's very strange culture. Communist? What? Just because they have 7 gods in their rice doesn't make them communist. That's what the capital redistribution does. Escape funny. It's just spelled like the word escape. Oh, ha ha ha. Hashtag Dory. Trying to develop a brand here. Well, I thank you, pop culture. Oh, communist. Commie. I get you. Oh, I can feel beads of sweat coming down the side of my face. Essential speculations concerning anime, play, and escapism. You guys are crazy. So I always want to go into these. Molly Kishikawa did pretty well with the King Enma stories, pulling those from Legend and tying them into like Dragon Ball and some other stuff. We got sort of sidetracked because the internet exploded. But pretty decent overall. So I'm gonna look for give me those historical stories. Run from Fleece Johnson. No! No, the booty goon! He's gonna get you! I want you. And I need you. I don't have any of those. All of my video clips are just...
Meat smoking?
Zuckerberg smoking meats. You love that it's only 80 in your house. Does it a good job? How hot is it in here? Hold on. Let me turn this on for a second. That says 92. Oh, I'm not kidding. I'm gonna take a picture of this. Whoo, boy. Okay, I'm gonna tweet that out real quick. Gee, Baloo, 91 degrees. That's halfway to being as hot as our sauna. Does the AC on low sound that bad on the mic? I think so. I hate it, and if I hate it, I'd rather sit here suffering and dying than deal with audio that is subpar. Uh, I know you are Chris Hansen, but see, I call you Chris Handsome. Yeah, my studio right now. I'm gonna call it a studio, even though it's just a room. You're at work and it's 50. Gosh, I wish it was 50. I would kill for 50 right now. Gee, Baloo. 50, I would say 57. 57 is ideal. Ideal shorts and a t-shirt weather. That is my happy zone. That's my happy place. But people always make fun of me when I wear a tank top. So I'm wearing like anime shirts, but you can't even see that they're like anime shirts when I'm in frame. You can always add a layer. Removing less skin is less desirable and probably wouldn't solve the problem. Yeah. 69 here. Well, hopefully tomorrow I'll be 69. Be 169 on track with the weight loss. So increasing my calories and being able to work out harder is doing the job. So very exciting there. Make sure to keep poking fun at the stupid little fat tissue that I have stuck on my belly. It's like, the numbers look great. The numbers look amazing. Why do I still have these stupid little fat blobs that are hiding my abs? I freaking hate it. It's like, why? Where am I losing fat from? Where? Stupid. Noodle arms aren't meant to wear wife beaters. Hey, every day is leg day for me. It's how I get by. But I can't set up the thigh cam super easily. But tell you what, we meet in person, I'll show you. I'll crush a watermelon with my thighs. That's called oxygen deprivation training, E-class. It's a little different. All right, let's turn up the heat to melt the fat. Oh, it's up. It's up. And we finally got our sauna. I ordered a sauna a year ago, and it showed up probably last month. And we put it together and everything, and so we'll go in there. We do a workout, and then we go sit in the sauna for like 15 minutes, and you sweat. Every inch of you sweats. Almost like I am now. Doesn't take much for me, but still, I'll stick myself in 180 degrees for 15 minutes. The tinfoil... You just heard me complain about how I hate bad audio, and you want me to wear a tinfoil emergency blanket? I hate noisy crinkling so much that, like, I finally found it. Specifically at the Eddie Bauer outlet is this Radius hybrid jacket, and it is windproof and waterproof, and it doesn't go every time you move your dang arm. So they don't even have it at the mainline store. I had to get it from the outlet store. And they were like, oh, maybe it's an outlet only thing. We're like, if it's an outlet only thing, why is there a price on it that's like twice as much? They're like, this is an $80 jacket, but we'll sell it for $30. I'm like, what? Why? Why can't you just market it as a $30 jacket? I just want the jacket that doesn't make noises every time I move around. Crazy. Silly. Marketing's weird. Our brains are dumb. But Japan, in Japanese mythology, influences a majority of anime and manga. As we just talked about, mythology and religion and everything, stories, basically. Stories that people tell influence stories people continue to tell. That's sort of the name of the game in the world. Anime is filled with references to Japanese mythology and folklore. How is that a link? It's a link to the nine-tailed fox oh, goodness. Blaine, I didn't lose that little bit of fat on my stomach till I was 150 pounds at 5'9". 5'9"? But I'm 6 foot! All right. Well, I've got a ways to go then, I guess. I could have sworn my head alone was like 50 pounds, so maybe there's some more fat loss in the brain hole, I guess. From mischievous yokai to beings that help ferry the spirits of those who have passed, it doesn't take long to find some reference to one of the many legends that permeate Japanese culture. One of the most common aspects that fans will be introduced to are kami, or gods, or spirits, or nature, really. At the end of the day, they call it kami and spirits and everything, but really it's just a tree 90% of the time. Or a rock. Sometimes it's a big rock. The big rocks are pretty cool because they're huge. Some big ass rocks in Japan. Oh my goodness. Get out that measuring tape, Blade. We talking 6 foot or 6 foot? No, 6 foot. It's like 5'11" and 3/4, which means I'm like 6 feet away from being 6 foot. It's Brandon lives. Brandon's got a brand new computer. Brandon new computer, get it? You knew it? How did you know it? No, how could you tell? My hair is like 8 feet tall. Look at all this. I don't need to pretend to be 6 feet when I'm actually like 6'1". Look at all that. Now I'm like 6'2". Keep going, I'll be as tall as Legal Mindset. According to Tinder, that means I'm a manlet. If being just barely not 6 foot makes me a manlet, that's why I work out. So that when people who are over 6 feet are like, hey, I'm over 6 feet, and then I proceed to just bump their heads into the sidewalk, it'll be okay. That's really what I work out for. It's usually a girl, not a tree or a rock. No, it's always a tree or a rock. Have you never seen the sacred ties around the rocks and trees in Japan? They're just like, we don't ever want to like cut this tree down, so we're going to pretend to worship it. But really it's just because somebody years ago thought it was really pretty, so they tied a rope around it. And now they don't tear the tree down because it's got a spirit in it. But everybody knows that it's just a really pretty tree, and we want to keep this tree around. Not 6 foot cope. Sure, yeah. I got your cope. Got your cope right here. I actually don't know. I haven't gotten a physical in years. I may have gained height. I may have lost height. I may be somewhere. But I think it's more fun to say that I'm 5'11" because, you know, then you're in that. I'm not quite 6 foot. I just say like, oh, I'm not quite 6 foot. I'm almost 6 foot. Give me an axe. I'll take on that tree spirit. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Does that guy that broke the rock, he broke the rock that held the kitsune, and then they had a typhoon like a week later. And everyone's like, thanks a lot, guy who broke the rock. Get some Gene Simmons heels. Air Max are probably the tallest shoe I have. No, actually, my Yeezys. I have the Yeezy 500s, the gross bubbly ones. Those are a pretty. They don't look like it, but they're a pretty tall heel. So they make me at least 6'1", I think. Those are the dwelling area, not the kami. You think? Depends. It depends. Sometimes the tree is the kami. Sometimes the tree is the kami. Sometimes the rock is the kami. But sometimes some ancient what would you call him? Priest was like, "Hey, I sealed the demon in this rock. Now you can pay me because I did the thing." And now everything is good again. And everybody's like, "Hey, yeah, life is pretty good," because people can be easily tricked into just looking at positives or just looking at negatives. So if they show up and point out a bunch of negatives and then they fix the problem and then they can make a bunch of money off of people being grateful. But it just depends. Most of the time, the ties though, the if it's tied around a tree or a rock or something natural, it's usually that the thing is the kami. but sometimes it's a rock where like they've trapped a kami. They're like, oh, he went into the rock. Keep him in the rock with the rope tie. And it's like I don't know. Maybe all of the Japanese gods are into shibari. They're all like, yeah, tie me up. Thank you, human. I don't know. I don't know if that's how it works or not, but it could be how it works according to them. Make an anime about it. Prove me otherwise. Or prove me positive. I'm sure there's probably some anime that prove what I just said. Tenchi in love takes place in the dream of a tree's desire to live. Yeah, exactly. The Shintoism is so crazy sometimes. Like, it's got such an interesting idea where if something is just 100 years old, it becomes a spirit. It becomes a just a not quite a god, but some sort of like spirity deity kind of thing. It's so strange. It's such a strange idea. Anything turns 100. Your cat turns 100. Your tree turns 100. Your bookshelf turns 100. Suddenly you got a spirit bookshelf. What are you gonna do with that? You're gonna take it to the Shinto priest and he's gonna burn it. That's what you're gonna do with it. Otherwise, you got a bookshelf that'll move randomly. The trees in Vietnam are commies. Yes, they are commie. They are commie in Vietnam trees. It's a girl with animal ears. Lol. Girl with animal ears. It's not not a monster. Oh, I can tell you. I thought maybe we'd work on the monster quiz. No, we're not gonna work on the monster quiz. There's no way you'll find my ass in this room long enough to work on the monster quiz. Whew, I should have brought like a Gatorade or something with me. I'm about to lose those extra 5 pounds just sitting here. Except it's not good to don't lose weight by sweating. It's bad for you. Make sure you replenish your fluids after you've sweat a bunch. It doesn't take long to blah, 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 blah. Michael, you might. One of the most common aspects that fans will be introduced to are Kami God. Okay, titles like Spirited Away and Inuyasha feature these powerful beings with little explanation as to what they actually are. One of the best things about storytelling is when you're just like, you know what, the audience either gets it or they'll look it up. Just drink some pickle juice if you begin to cramp up. I do love me some pickle juice. Maybe we'll just do that anyway. Be honest with your audience and just say, hey, you know what these are. And if you don't, you'll look it up. And then when you look it up, you'll feel smart because you now know something that other people don't. You'll be like, oh, Kilala is a kitsune because she controls fire and she can shapeshift. Isn't that fascinating? And everybody else will be like, what'd you say about Naruto? Briny goodness. I make my own, I call it I make my own pickles. But really what I do is like when I finish a jar of like hot jalapeno nacho rings, I dump the brine from the jalapenos into like a big mason jar, and I'll have like that, and then I'll have like sport pepper brine, and then I'll have, you know, something else, and then it's so much cheaper just to buy jalapenos, because you can just go buy jalapenos and habaneros at like Safeway or Kroger or whatever like your local store is. Like slice them up, drop them in, and in 24 hours you've got more pickled jalapenos or pickled habaneros or pickled like whatever pepper. Buy whatever pepper you want, but just keep your brines. Just put them in like a mason jar, chop up a bunch of peppers and throw them in there and make your own. Sometimes I drop some garlic in there, makes it a little bit of that garlic spicy. Freaking love it. Wet a hand towel and put it over the back of your neck. Enemies, I have those. That's a great idea, actually. I'm 90% sure I know where my thing is. Where I have one of those little cold towel things. Damn it, kids in there, leave my wife alone. I don't got your damn 3 bitty. Oh, Brandon on the Cotton Council. Sounds kind of fluffy. Sounds kind of fluffy to me. Okay, so we're letting our audience look up what things are and not just telling them what things are. The word kami is often translated as God, but can also refer to a spirit, as I said earlier, or divine entity. It should be noted that the etymology, I feel like that should be entomology. Like, I know it's not the etymology of a word, but like I feel like entomology is like a better word that we should have used instead. Like the study of ents, I guess. Is often debated among scholars that the deity or God translation isn't entirely correct, but is among the most common, as the Sino-Japanese kanji used to make up the word comes from the Chinese character for deity. Scholars suspect that the word simply means spirit in the Ainu language, an endangered... Who's endangering languages? That doesn't sound correct. Like, just not enough people speak it? Write it down. Someone will learn it. Spoken only by a few elders on the island of Hokkaido. Ainu are also in... they're not just on Hokkaido. They're also in the top of the Tohoku. Fuji is a great kami. That is correct. Fuji has been deified or spiritified for a bajillion years. The word kamui is a similar concept that refers to the animistic concept of everything holding some type of spirit. In general, the term is very vague and hard to translate directly. True. The earliest writings refer to kami can be traced back to the Kojiki, the record of ancient matters. Old stuff book! That's what everybody writes as soon as they're done. It's old stuff book. Written around 720 CE, belief in kami, however, is believed to date further back, but there is no documented founding of the Shinto religion. These two texts provide the earliest telling of the Shinto creation myth. Ancient beliefs also said that there were 5 defining traits of kami. And that's sort of the weird thing about it is, like, Shintoism has gods that do stuff and create stuff, but then, like, when we talk about kami, we're talking about, like, the spirit of the house, the spirit of the rice, you know, a bunch of this sort of more esoteric frou-frou thing that is cool because it forces somebody to be honoring to that thing, but also weird because suddenly they think that thing is alive. So it's I have a weird connection with a lot of this. Kamui was one of the coolest Sharingan abilities. Sharingan, whose eyeball is Kamui. Golden Kamui with the Sharingan of the CG bear. Is that what you're talking about? The first is that they can either be loving and kind, or they can be destructive and vengeful, as they possess 2 spirits. But wait, that's a weird way to write that. Meaning offerings must be made to appease them and keep them satisfied. The second, so yeah, keep them happy. That's all you need to say. It's not that they are 2 spirits. They are either angry or happy. Obitos. Oh. The second is that they are not visible to most mortals and only inhabit natural areas or phenomena. Sacred spaces like shrines. Like the one in Kagome's family serves in Inuyasha. Or can be present in the midst of a ritual. The third is that they never stay in one place forever, as there can be many shrines dedicated to one kami. Mushishi deals with pillows and paintings with kami, right? Mushishi, I remember just being about spirits. I don't remember specifically pillows and paintings. Unless that means something different. But yes, Mushishi is a very, very spirit-driven show. The fourth characteristic is that there are many types of kami, and the Kojiki states that there can be as many as 300 different varieties. The final idea is that kami have a duty to the people and environment around them and must serve those people and places in some fashion, such as providing protection or making sure the crops grow. They also granted and bestowed blessings and curses. Of course, we have more Spirited Away. The Kojiki states that the first kami are a collective of Kodo Amatsu kami. When the universe was born, these beings were born in a heaven known as Takamagahara. Takamagahara. At first, there were 3 kami. Ame no Mina Kanushi. Why is that name so long? Taka Mi Musubi and Kami Musubi. Over time, more kami were born or summoned into existence until there were 7 generations. Yep. This one I did know, because this one I researched for a game I wrote. The last of these kami were the siblings Izanami no Mikoto and Izanagi no Mikoto. We have talked about Izanami and Izanagi in the past. Izanagi, the first of the dead, who then Izanami tried to get her, and then she was like, "Don't look at me, you looked at me," and then he cried and he wept, and children were born from his tears, and that's where we got Amaterasu, the sun goddess, and Skimi, what's his face, the moon goddess, and Susanoo, the greatest warrior of man, sort of the Hercules of Japanese folktale. Very interesting. I'm surprised that the story of Izanami and Izanagi isn't used more directly in manga or anime that is like really popular, because it's a pretty interesting story. Like we in the West with like Disney and stuff, and even prior to that, like Hercules is such a common, like in Greek myth with like the Odyssey. You know, we have so much that comes from our Greek myth that also incorporates like the Titans and everything. So we get into like their world origination myths and everything. But I'm so surprised that we don't have anything that really delves back into the world origination with Izanami Izanagi that isn't like a here's the story of Izanami Izanagi, that it's all just like a kid's show trying to teach you about Shintoism. Very, very strange to me. Whew. Izanami, Izanagi were tasked with creating land on the earth below, so traveled down together. Everything was clouds, using a spear decorated with jewels called the Amenonu Hoko. Amenonu Hoku. Why are all these words so long? It's like they just wanted long words back in the day. To churn the water. The first island, Onogoroshima, was created from the drops that fell from the spear. Izanami and Izanagi then descended and participated in the first wedding ceremony. The two would circle a pillar called Ame no Ukihashi, and upon meeting on the other side, Izanami spoke first. Then they mated, which resulted in the birth of the gods Ebisu. Ebisu, god of beer and joy. Kampai god, Ebisu. Ibisu would be the beer specifically that is named after him. Peter Venkman Fansite, hello. How do you do this evening? We are learning about Shinto gods and how they influence anime, and I'm complaining that we haven't gotten the actual origin of Shintoism. Like their creation myth has never become like a good anime. Commodore Perry. That's what they're gonna call me when I go this fall. I'll be Commodore Blaney, and I'll beat down the doors if they don't let me into Japan. I'm tired of not being there. It's about to be an international incident if they try to not let me in the country. Good luck. Good luck. I may not be 6 foot, but I'm taller than most Japanese people. However, they were considered deformed and were sent adrift to sea in a boat. They put these kids in a boat and said, "Go away, because you ugly." Aren't the two Izas the yin and yang? I don't think they are. They are. I mean, so they aren't directly, because yin yang is much more of the Chinese deification and religion, whereas Izanagi sort of, Japan steals a lot from China, but they aren't directly like, oh, these are the yin yang. They do represent the masculine and the feminine in the way that it's sort of a yin yang, where they are the opposites. And the reason that they specifically call out that Izanami spoke first is because they were told, like, make sure that Izanami speaks first. And so now, if you ever do like a wedding ceremony and the woman speaks first, it was like a big deal. Very, very strange. But again, I want to see like a show. Like, give me an anime that dealt, like, we've seen the Titans creating Earth, right? We've seen all this sort of interesting Western creation myth that gets turned into story. Like, show me this one. Show me the one that I didn't grow up learning about, right? We learned plenty about the Greeks and the Romans and the I don't know, what else would there be? What other creation myths would we get stories about? But I want to see the other ones. After consulting with the other kami and performing the ritual they perform did not work properly, the siblings tried again, this time with here we go. Izanagi speaking first. This is the issue. So Izanami spoke first was the problem. Then Izanagi speaks first and it's okay. This resulted in Izanami birthing a total of 16 islands and numerous minor kami. She would then die after giving birth to Kagu Tsuchi, a fire kami. And the best way to think of Kagu Tsuchi is ceaseless discharge. So anyone who hasn't played Dark Souls, ceaseless discharge is a giant flaming lava monster with a ton of arms. Do you have a good picture of him? Gosh, he's such an easy boss. It's so stupid. Here we go. This'll work. Here's a share an image of ceaseless discharge. He's discharging fire ceaselessly. That's him. That's ceaseless discharge. He is a representation of the kami of fire in Dark Souls. In fact, most of Dark Souls bosses have Japanese god influence. You got Jorogumo in the Spider Lady. You've got Nito, who's literally the first of the dead. That's sort of the Izanami. I don't remember the rest off the top of my head. I had this whole worksheet at one point where I was like figuring out who was what, but we'll get to that later. Back to the article, because it's actually telling the story pretty well. I'd say. I'm impressed. Writer. This would lead to an incident where Izanagi tried to bring her back to the living world, but leaving her in Yomi. Yeah, and then he cries, and his tears become Amaterasu, Skimi Jaku, or whatever his name is, and then Susanoo. Kami are not limited to being birthed or created by other kami. Human spirits can also become kami. Meiji Jingu is a shrine dedicated to Emperor Meiji. He is the Emperor of Japan who took over during the, surprise, Meiji Revolution. This is the Golden Kamui takes place shortly after the Meiji Revolution. Most of its like war stories are war stories of the Meiji Revolution, so if you're familiar with that. We've looked at the Star Fort previously on the channel. Those are holdovers from the Meiji Revolution. Then he dies, and everyone loved him so much they said, hey, let's create basically the equivalent of the Lincoln Memorial, but instead of like where we have memorials. Like, we have the Lincoln Memorial, and it's like, oh, we can go remember Lincoln. He was a cool guy. He did a lot of really good stuff for our country. They create a shrine dedicated to the Emperor Meiji. And so they sort of go and they do all the same rituals. It's why I say, like, they don't really, like, they believe in spirits, but they don't believe in, like, the spirits being spirits, because the shrine is literally just a place where they go and honor the idea that this guy was really important to Japan and really brought them out of the Dark Ages and set them along a path to being a world power, basically. So it's very weird to call it spirit or deification or anything like that, because they don't believe he's a god. They just believe that he's a really cool guy, and in order to honor him, they built a shrine where they could worship him. But they don't really, it's not worship in the same way that we consider, like, oh, I worship that, you know, like, it's not like the English form of worship. It's more like honor, reverence, respect. It really isn't the same. Flood, recession, island, volcano. Isn't that every geological version? Isn't that everybody's origination starts with the flood? Those who made great contributions to civilization or embodied the qualities of kami have their potential to join their ranks. Ancestral kami are common among families who worship the spirits of the departed. It is also believed that the Japanese royal family are descended from the sun goddess Amaterasu. It's why they didn't do anything while the shoguns ruled, because they didn't have to do anything, because they were just a god, basically. There are cases of living humans becoming kami, similar to the premise Kamichu or Kami-sama Kiss, though not to such an extreme extent. This includes the living emperor of Japan. Supernatural entities like yokai can also become kami. It is possible for a kami to become a yokai should they go unworshipped. The status of kami is dependent on human belief and worship. This is really well executed in Noragami. One of the best parts of Noragami is how the only reason he has any sort of like power or anything is that people believe in him. That people give him donations, give him the coin in order to keep him around because he does something good. That's what keeps him a kami, not a yokai. It's interesting to differentiate the two, or say that something can move back and forth between the two, but it really can, especially if you look at the like the monks that turn into oni, which are sort of a big demonic yokai. So it's pretty easy to slip back and forth for sure. The status of kami is dependent on human belief and worship. The distinction is made when looking at whether these spirits help or harm humans and how humans relate and view them. People from one region could view a particular spirit as a kami, while people from another region could view it as a yokai. Ooh, yawn. Molly Kishikawa, 346 articles written. Pretty good. As far as like identifying where they come from, what differentiates them from other things, the fact that it's difficult to call them spirits because the Japanese use spirit as such a different thing than we do. Hit that like button, turn Blaine into a yokai. Hit that like button for me to be a yokai. Share if you want me to be a kami. That's the step 1, step 2. But I don't accept a building. That was funny. Now time for the main event. What's the main event? Is the main event escapism? So deity requires a witness or a worshiper. Yes, it's a very, very specific to Japan, and you can kind of you can see this in something like Spirited Away. So there's an easy one that most people have seen. The sludge creature is the kami of a river, but when it arrives as the sludge creature, it's a yokai. It's a demonic monster that no one wants to be around. And it's not until what is her name? Chizuru, not Chizuru. Anyway, not until the main character shows up do we get the yokai being shown some kind of respect, cleaning it up, cleaning it out, you know, being nice to it, all this other stuff, and suddenly it can turn back into a kami. It becomes a god again once it's been taken care of. Little girl sees the deity. I don't know that she does. I think she is much more just like, oh, this is my job, but you don't it's one of those questions of, do you have to intend the results of your actions to take the actions, right? If the results of her actions are the cleansing of this yokai into a kami, does she have to intend to do that, or does she just have to do the things that lead to that occurring, right? I don't know that she intended to make it into a deity or that she saw the deity. I think she just is a kind person who's like, oh, I'm going to help out. I'm going to do this. And thus paid respects to the river in such a way that turned it back into a river spirit. It's a very, very fascinating way of thinking. Like the difference between how authors write, like Yumao, excuse the spelling, not looking it up. I don't know what Gyumao is. It sounds like evil beef. That's because Gyu is Japanese for beef, and Mao is usually Japanese for like the Demon King. So it sounds like you wrote Demon Beef, which sounds like a pretty good restaurant. Gyu Mao, I'm the Demon King of Beef. Get a little Ox King. Oh, it probably might be that word. You're talking like the Ox King coming from like Dragon Ball versus where else have we seen the Ox King? Actually, I actually don't know what other. But I need to look this up. Is it actually like? Because that would be hilarious. It'd be hilarious if that's actually. It is. It is Gyumao. Oh. It is Gyumao. It literally. So I can make it bigger. Get bigger. Can we read this? Oh, get out of here. So like this is Gyu. So like this means beef, and then this one is like royalty. So like it's like king, but it also is Ma, which is like the evil Ma-o, because like O is your like Osama. It's like greatness. Osaka is a great city, like a great port city. The O makes things big. It's the same character sometimes if it's written differently, but in this form it's more like king. Mao meaning like evil. So he's like it's literally Ox Demon King. And I just called him the Beef Demon King. Sayuki. Let's see, Sayuki. How do they write it? Respect and see are on equal plane regardless of her knowing. Exactly. It's the Beauty and the Beast tale, right? If he was an asshole to an old lady, then he'd be an asshole to anyone, right? So it's like your intentions on what you do and your actions that come from that, like the actions that come from that. If he was mean to the old lady, but he still like brought her in and like, you know, helped her out, gave her some clean clothes and stuff, but still like in his heart was like, man, she's a weird old ugly lady. Like he probably would have not been cursed. Probably would have just been like everybody else in society who pretends like they're a good person who secretly hates people around them. There's not a lot of people that will actually be nice to someone and legitimately think it. Okay, so I don't know anything about this Gyumao from Sayuki. Not a dang thing. He is the husband of his legal wife, Ratetsunyo? I've not seen the Tse and the Tsu next to each other in a long time. Using Minakura's version, the one with the hot long hair. All I see is a robot with a yin-yang on the chest. I don't know this Gyumao. Gyumao. There's a Gyumao resurrection experiment. Is Sayuki still ongoing? The manga releases in North America February 20th to January 23rd. Second series began in June 1999. What? Crazy. This summer, Rob Schneider is Gyumao. No, I don't know enough to confirm or deny that as a good connection to what we were talking about, unfortunately. But if you see it and you believe it, then I believe in you. Get that dot flat out of here. The Choco Taco got discontinued? Gross. How could they do that? I mean, mean. Or something. I don't know. Whatever means bad. Did it actually? Or is this like a meme? Choco Taco. No, discontinued is like the top of the list. 4 hours ago on CNN. How? What a world we live in. You only had it once and didn't like it? That's not the point. The point is the choice. And the point is when I Google Choco Taco discontinued and CNN is the first article, it's literally like, hey, want to see Biden eating an ice cream? Look, he's got a chin strap mask because it's okay when you eat. Like, why is this the top of the page when the Choco Taco should be the top of the page? Did Biden invent the Choco Taco? No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he spent his whole life in the government. Like, where's the Choco Taco maker? Why is that the CNN? Oh. First the waffle taco, now the Choco Taco. Leave the tacos alone. I had a sushi taco. Sushi taco was pretty good. They take the nori, they take the seaweed, and they hold it in like or they dip it, and then they put it on like a piece of metal or whatever, and then they fry it so that the seaweed fries in a taco shape, and then you put your rice in it, and then they put the fish in it, and then they put, you know, whatever else, you know, if you got a little extra bit in your sushi taco, and then you crunch through that. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. You can't trust CNN. It was initially reported by some ice cream truck owner and later confirmed by reps at Klondike Unilever. Why is Unilever part of Klondike? Don't they make shampoo? If the Choco Taco doesn't come back to Taco Bell, there's no point. Choco Taco has fallen, said a Twitter user. What in the world? The news just quotes Twitter. Like, that's crazy to me. They always make the best. They always take the best things away from us. Another mused, another berated Klondike for the decision. If Klondike's gonna stop having the Choco Taco, someone else is gonna make it, right? Like that's kind of how all this works. Unilever makes everything. Okay, I love this. Choco Hack down. No. Choco Hacko. Seafair, the hydro races in Seattle. I have been attending these since I was in the womb, basically. I freaking love the Seafair races. They always come out, and it's always fantastic. But they had, for a long time, this special, because they were sponsored by Procter & Gamble, P&G, that if you bought, it was like, it started out as like $20, and then eventually it was like $50 worth of Procter & Gamble product. You could bring your receipt down and show off your receipt, and they would give you a ticket. Like you could just get in for buying a bunch of P&G stuff. Procter & Gamble makes everything. All you have to do is keep your receipts from your last 2 trips to any grocery store where you bought something that wasn't a fruit or a vegetable, and you're good to go. Like, plus you're going to like an all-day event like on the water, so we would load up on like Pringles and like beef sticks and all this stuff, and then like one person's receipt would be like the utility receipt. Like they'd have the Tide and the like softener on their receipt, and then we would go down the line of like who needed what. But it was like, I remember looking at the list. They're like, here's all the stuff that, because you can click it. They're like, eligible products. You'd click it, and it would just this massive web page of like things you could buy. You thought it was already gone. You never had it here? I don't know where you are, but if you've never had a Choco Taco, they're not the greatest. I like ice cream that's a little bit softer. I like to let my ice cream melt a little bit. People call it a milkshake in a bowl sometimes, but I'm a bit more of the melty ice cream guy. But because it's all sealed up, you can let it kind of melt in there, and then you can go to town. Pretty. It's a hard ride because you got to get it when it's still crunchy, but a little bit soft on the ice cream. So I live on the edge. I live on the edge of desire. Type in behind the brands illusion and check out the picture that pops up. Oh yeah, is this the one where like it's like Mars and Procter and Unilever? Behind the brands illusion. Oh, here we go. Oh, P&G isn't even on this list. This is, oh, there it is. This one's got P&G on it. Okay. How big can I get this? Open a new tab. There we go. That's nice and clear. And then I will, hold on. Can I do these? Yeah. Yeah, that works probably. You predict tons of boxes being bought and stored in freezers to sell at inflated prices. Potentially. You've never had it? You just learned of its existence right now? What? Okay, but you had to have assumed that in today's world, somebody had taken a taco and filled it with ice cream and smothered it in chocolate. Like, at least the concept, you have to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody's done that. I'm pretty sure that that's occurred in the world. Like, you may not have seen or known of the Choco Taco, but the Choco Taco doesn't surprise you. All right. The big ones we know, of course, Coca-Cola, that owns all of the drinks. Coca-Cola, Fanta, Monster, Full Throttle, Nestea, Dasani, Vitamin Water under the Glacier brand. PepsiCo. PepsiCo is the one that always like throws people off because PepsiCo also owns Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza Hut. That's why you can see a Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza Hut from time to time. You know what? I gotta start. I'm just gonna be Blaine from like now on, I guess, so that I can see myself better. Bet it'll be back just like the McRib. Exactly. I'm not surprised we have deep fried Oreos. I love some good old fair food, deep fried everything. Coca-Cola owns all the drinks. Next we have PepsiCo. Don't quote me directly. Quote what I mean, not what I say. PepsiCo though, the fact that they own other stuff, like they own Lay's, right? Like we think of Lay's, like Frito-Lay. We're like, oh, Frito-Lay must be one of the big ones. No, Frito-Lay is under another one of these umbrellas. General Mills running rickshawed on half the cereal aisle so that I can be direct with you. Also, we got some Pillsbury, Yoplait, Y'all Natural, the Industrial Revolution and its consequences. Your friend used to work at a taco chicken hut. Nice. Did they just get whatever they wanted on their lunchtime? Did they cancel the Choco Taco because of the Latinx problem? I think you know the answer to that. Kellogg's finishing off the other half of the cereal aisle, as well as some Pop-Tarts and stuff in here. Mars running roughshod on candy. Unilever, here's the one. It's like Unilever makes everything. It's like no. Unilever makes a lot of stuff, but they make like ice cream. What is this area? Coleman's mustard, like Hellman's, like condiments, ice cream, tea, soap, and what more shampoo, right? Like this is a weird combination of things to make. At least with like Pepsi and General Mills and Kellogg's, it's all kind of food. Like I can eat basically everything that they make. With Kraft, I can eat basically everything they have. Unilever has soap. You can't eat soap, or you shouldn't eat soap. The Chuck's Taco. Oh my goodness. Mountain Dew is the best soft drink company ever. Didn't Mountain Dew get bought out though? Who owns Mountain Dew? Does Mountain Dew still own Mountain Dew? Who owns Mountain Dew? Oh, I'm sorry. It says the Pepsi Cola Company. Look, Mountain Dew right here. PepsiCo sucks. Mountain Dew is the best soft drink company ever. Dragon Ruse, I've got a problem. I've got a problem for you. Oh no. Johnson & Johnson making sure that we are all healthy with our Neutrogena and our One Touch and our Band-Aids and our Tylenol. Procter & Gamble. This is what I mean. We load up on Pringles. We'd get the Tide and the I think we used Downy for our softener growing up. Charmin, a couple things of toilet paper, and bam, you've got a ticket to go. Duracell, because back when we were doing this, we needed a radio that was powered by a battery in order to tune in to the radio so that we could listen to the race announcer, because they didn't have speakers running the whole run of it. A little Pepto, because some of that fair food may not agree with you the way you wish it would. Nestle again, doing the thing where it's like I can eat half of what you make and the other half, like at least cats and dogs can eat this part and babies eat this part, but like why you making stuff I can't eat, you weirdo? Kraft, I can eat it all, I think. Does BlackRock own all these companies? Yes. Yes, that is true. That's why Taco Bell sells Mountain Dew. That's why Taco Bell sells the best Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew Baja Blast is the greatest Mountain Dew, and it actively upsets me that somebody let Purple Valkyrie go to a Taco Bell and not get Baja Blast. Who? I'm looking at you, Salty. Who takes someone who's never been to a Taco Bell and doesn't get them a Baja Blast? Or even the Frosty Baja Blast, because it's icy, it's summertime. Let's get a fun slushy Baja Blast. But a Baja Blast nonetheless. How could you do this? Have you never, ever been to a Taco Bell before? Goodness, it's like the blind leading the blind over there at Fanime or whatever they were at. Oh my goodness. Is this the main event? Yes, this is the main event. The main event is, hold on. We're down to 87 degrees, so I've got a little less sweat rolling down my back, and I can talk about food. That's the main event. Commie warm-up, then food talk, exactly. Since 1964, that is a long time. Long time of Mountain Dew being owned by Pepsi. Main event is Japanese KFC. Japanese everything is just different. Because when we had our weird, like, food revolution where we're like, no more trans fat oils or, you know, all this stuff, like, we ruined it. Japan didn't do that. They said, we want food that tastes good. So when you go over and you get something like McDonald's in Japan, it just tastes better. It tastes like McDonald's did back in 1980, or so I'm told, back before all of the trans fat craze, because they just don't care. Plus, where like our McDonald's actually get potatoes from Idaho, their McDonald's are going to get potatoes from Japan. It's a lot easier than trying to ship a damn potato across the ocean. And when you get the local food there, it's, you know, there's so much food that is so well taken care of that you get just much, much tastier things that comes from the fact that they used to worship their food like it was practically a god. All of this commie spirit talk we've been talking about is what leads the Japanese people to making their food so good. So their chicken is really good. Their potatoes are really good. And so you have a better KFC, you have a better McDonald's than we do here just because the ingredients are better overall. Baja Blast is mid. Okay. Tell me how else you're wrong about most things in life, Serranos. Baja Blast will kill you. Like, let's be honest. Anything Mountain Dew is going to kill you, and you probably shouldn't be drinking it. But Baja Blast as a flavor is amazing. And the fact that I can now get a Baja Blast Budweiser is blasphemy, but delicious. It is such a delicious taste. Oh my goodness. You know why, Salty? Exactly. Clip it. Do it. Clip it. I don't know do I have clips activated? I don't know. Where's my, I can create a highlight video. Oh, but then I have to like go and like check the places. Why can't I make a highlight like after the fact? Why do I have to make a highlight like during? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna add a stream marker. Markers appear in video editor after your stream ends. Okay, we'll just do that. I'll do that for now. You like how it glows green? That's true. It does glow green, especially under black light conditions. Drop those dollars now for Mountain Dew promotion. I wish I was getting that Pepsi money to promote Baja Blast. One Baja Blast and one fajita, please. Nobody gets fajitas. Everybody gets beef and potato burritos. That's what you should get when you go to Taco Bell. Baja Blast and a beef and potato burrito. That is the most American Mexican dish you can ever purchase in your life. Or straight up go for the Crunchwrap Supreme. Go old school with it. They're so much smaller than I remember them being, but they're still good. It tastes better and doesn't even have more calories. You want Japanese flavored Kit Kats here in the U.S.? Where are you? Because we have a place called Wajimaya here in the Northwest. It's a Asian grocery store, and you can get Japanese flavored Kit Kats all the time. The wasabi, the green tea, there was a banana one recently. All kinds of stuff. You can pick up. Search for Asian grocer, because I know that even like we've got the big one, like Wajimaya is a big one, but we also have like 99 Ranch Market. We have Lee's grocer over in Tukwila. We have all kinds of these little small Asian grocers in little strip malls that will have Asian candies as well. When we watch Japanese commercials, they do such a better job making you want the food or wonder what the food is. Sometimes you watch some of those commercials and you're like, why did he shoot her in the butt with a bow and arrow? Is this a JAV or is this a commercial? I don't know what I'm watching anymore. You got some Japanese Kit Kats. Nice. You just hate Pepsi products in general. There's got to be hold on, Japanese Kit Kats. Amazon sells Japanese Kit Kats. You can get like whole boxes of them. 9 mini bars. Mini Kit Kat Leche de Fresa. They're not well coordinated, but also it could also be because I'm in the Seattle area where Amazon is and Whole Foods is, so that might control for that in this experiment. You just hate Pepsi products in general. Honestly, I don't think they have a single soda I would prefer drinking. True. With the one exception of Mountain Dew Baja Blast, specifically when I am having Taco Bell, because I got that Baja Blast flavored energy drink / alcohol soda, whatever it was, and it was garbage. It was awful. And I realized it's because I wasn't mixing it with the garbage food at a Taco Bell. They just go hand in hand. Yes, Dr. Pepper is owned under Keurig. If you go down into Sumner, you can see the Keurig Dr. Pepper warehouse. And I think they're both owned under Green Mountain Coffee Company. I think is the parent there. Yeah, that is a funny one. 100% funny one. They did shrunk. It's actually sad. A third of the restaurants that carry Pepsi are owned by Pepsi. It's the only way. When my uncle had a restaurant, he started out with Coca-Cola products because we're a Coca-Cola family and he preferred it. Pepsi basically gave him free soda to switch. That's how hard it is. And they got him new booths. He had all red booths for Coca-Cola. They got him all blue booths, and they gave him all this other marketing stuff. You get so much from Pepsi in order to carry them. Now I will say, if you are at a place and all they have is Pepsi, a little squeeze of lemon in a Pepsi will make it tolerable. So if you got to get by, otherwise just drink water. Just drink water, please. Do it. It's better for you. I say as I'm, drinking sake every night, but that's good for me. It keeps my blood pumping. What would you do for a JP Kit Kat bar? A Kit Kat bar Have you seen the Gorbachev Pizza Hut commercial? I have not. Is it Gorbachev or is it Reagan saying that they should tear down the wall of breadsticks or something? Mr. Gorbachev, tear off this breadstick. Diet Baja Blast is just bubbly antifreeze. You know, I've probably drunk more antifreeze than I should in my life. Probably because you shouldn't have any, and I'm sure I've ingested some amount. Your grandparents had a similar proposition as well. It's funny. Default Pepsi is okay. Coke is definitely better, but I tried the strawberry lemonade at Taco Bell and it was fine. Kind of odd flavor. Huh. Like a Minute Maid kind of a strawberry lemonade, like coming out of the little faucet, or like something totally different from that. I have no idea. No idea. Oh, I found a place that makes macarons that actually taste good, because everybody's always like, oh, I love macarons. They're so good. I love this. They are so tiny. They are like a little cake with a little cream in them. It's so good. And then you eat it. And I was like, what flavor was that? And they're like, oh, it was a pistachio. And I'm like, it tasted like a cloud. I didn't taste anything. It tasted like I ate some air. And macarons have always been that way. So they're like, oh, this one's a chocolate, this one's a coffee, this one's a durian, and it's always like air. They never taste like anything. But this little tiny place called Macarons Seattle, and we got macarons, and it tasted like Cap'n Crunch, and then the other one tasted like Vietnamese coffee. It was actual flavor in a macaron. It blew my mind. I was like, whoa, these things can taste good. And then they made fun of me. They were like, of course we add flavor so it tastes good. And I was like, you didn't have to make fun of me on Instagram in front of all the people. Crazy. It was a fountain drink. I assume it was whatever lemonade brand Pepsi has. Pepsi's fine every once in a while. You feel Pepsi and Coke are on opposite ends of a spectrum, and Dr. Pepper's in the middle. What? What kind of spectrum is that? You still have no idea how people can stand diet drinks actually taste like poison to you. You do genuinely like Dr. Pepper. I love me some Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper and root beer, but no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. They have artificial sweeteners in them. Yes, that is true. That is true. That's why we get things that don't need sweetener, like sake, coffee. Those don't need sweeteners. Water, protein shakes. Diet drinks was built on a lie that still goes on today. Drink diet and you'll lose weight. The problem isn't the diet drink, because the diet drink is 0 calories. Like, as awful as they are. The problem is everything that comes around the diet drink, right? The fact that sweet taste triggers an insulin response, and many people who are overweight have issues with diabetes, and so triggering the insulin still causes issues for their body. The fact that they get a Diet Coke or a Diet Pepsi or a Diet whatever, and also order 2 hot dogs and a movie theater nacho, and give me a bucket of popcorn, and make my large Coke a diet. Like, you're saving yourself a couple hundred calories, but you're eating 1,600 in one meal, 2,000 in one meal. Like, you're never gonna lose weight if you're still eating everything else, and you just change one thing to be, having no calories. You're doing like a 10% improvement, which is not what it takes for some people to lose weight. It's just it's asinine, right? So you have people that, like, medically are still hurting themselves because they don't understand how insulin works and how your sweet taste triggers all of that. And then you have people that just refuse to change anything else about themselves. But I got a diet drink and I go for a walk. And it's like, you know what? Walking to where they hold the rascals in the Walmart is not considered a walk. You have to, like, go around the block before anybody's going to count it as I went for a walk. That's just called a waddle over to my motorized shopping cart. That's all that is. RC Cola Gang. Nobody knows who you are, RC Cola Gang. You might as well say Shasta in the house. Woo! Nobody knows what that means. Wasn't there a study saying Diet Coke is more addictive than cocaine? I think that's just sugar, right? Like, because you can eat sugar and it triggers a lot of those same responses. Like sugar, caffeine, and cocaine all have very similar properties to them. And two of them, the sugar and the caffeine, you can take a lot of, relatively speaking, and not have any immediate negative side effects. And so your body can get more used to having more of it in your system. If you do something like cocaine, like it doesn't allow you to, like, no one is doing the Tony Montana like mountains of it to the point where they're hurting themselves to that point. Whereas with sugar and caffeine, you can definitely get to the point of really damaging your system because there's so few side effects with them. Oh my goodness. Said with 2 double deckers and a large fries, exactly. With 2 apple pies. Order the salad. Or the best one, Peter Venkman fan site, when you're like, oh, give me the double decker bacon cheeseburger with the barbecue sauce. But instead of fries, make them sweet potato fries. And add a side salad. It's like that's not helping. You're still eating fried potato. I don't care if it's a sweet potato and it's healthier because it doesn't taste as good. It's still a freaking fried potato covered with salt because your cholesterol-filled arteries don't need more of that sodium. Let me tell you what. Oh, hey. Drives me nuts. As long as you can be fat, if you're okay with like what being fat means, and you're just like, yeah, I did this and this is how I live my life and I'm okay with that. But if you're like, oh, I'm on a diet or I'm trying to lose weight, it's like, no, you're not trying. And if this is you trying, I have no idea what you being lazy looks like. When you were doing fast food, most people that got diet were old people. You didn't notice that fatter people got diet more often. Could have been because pretty much everyone is fat. Walk to the oxygen bottle. Nice. Yeah, they need to stop putting oxygen tanks on wheels and make people who need oxygen because their fat restricts their lungs. They need to carry their oxygen bottles around. They aren't allowed to have wheels with their oxygen bottles anymore. They don't sell double deckers. It was your favorite menu item. Glass bottle Coke. Mexican Coke is the best Coke. That is true. Mexican Coke is the best Coke. Colombia can claim it's got the rights to it all at once, but we all know the truth is that Mexican Coke and Manzanita Sol. Manzanita Sol is a fizzy apple juice that is from Mexico. That shit slaps. I freaking love Manzanita Sol. So good. So freaking good. But everybody always has like the Jarritos. It's like with a J, Jarritos. They always have all those flavors when you go to like a Mexican restaurant. It's like, no, I don't want those flavors of like a neon juice. I want Manzanita Sol. I just want that fizzy apple. Give it to me. And they're just like, no, Jarrito. And I'm like, no, not a Jarrito. Manzanita Sol. S'il vous plaît. Andale. Oh. Triple cheeseburgers. There you go. When you worked at McDonald's, you got free soda. Yeah, because it cost a nickel. Like a large soda. That's why McDonald's does that special where they're like, any size soda, same price. Look, we're being good. We're giving you. They're still making like 90% margins on those sodas, even if they're huge. You can't buy double deckers, makes you mad. Yeah, but you can make them, can't you? Like everything on the Taco Bell menu is the same, like 10 ingredients. You just have to order it, and like you're like, oh, this wasn't. I ordered a gordita, and you're like, oh, here you go. You're mixing studies. You heard up. It was Oreos being more addictive than cocaine and Diet Coke causing as much tooth damage as meth. That I believe. I had a kid I knew in elementary school did like he saved all his baby teeth, and for his like science experiment in 4th grade or something like that, he stuck teeth in like one was in water, that was like the control, and then it was just all these different liquids, and the two that melted like just completely disappeared, there was no tooth left, were the one that was in like Pepsi and Diet Pepsi. Like those were the two that just they're gone. You're like, there used to be a tooth in here, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's insane, that's crazy, that's gross. Weren't those dusted with Cheeto dust? Oh, I have no idea, but I want Cheetos now. Like the are we talking like the Doritos Locos Tacos? Is that what we're talking about here? I love those. God damn, give me that soul, not the Dorito. Cup costs more than a soda. That is true. That is completely true. You saw a group of whales get 6 patty burgers at Five Guys. Oh my goodness. That is the place. I will be very nice to you. I will be very pleasant to you. But if we bring up weight, I will be brutally honest to you. Because I believe wholeheartedly that the world is constantly trying to make you feel okay, you know, and we have too many Richard Simmons. He did his job. He said, yay, we got it, we love you, you're great, you're working hard. And then it turned from you're working hard to you're okay. And then nobody has any sort of shame for the size they are and all the excuses. But man, I watched 5, like a pod of whales, right? A full 5. That's a pod here in Seattle, because we have pods of whales out in our bay. Get out of an older, like late 90s 4Runner, and I was like, how did they all fit in there? Those 4Runners aren't that wide. How was someone just sitting in the back and just kind of like rolled over into the passenger seat to get out? Oh, blew my mind. I was like, how'd you all fit in there? Yeah, I don't. There are 2 types of people who you'll see at a Five Guys. People that are too fat and shouldn't be going to Five Guys, and people that must be on like meth or cocaine in order to not be fat. Don't worry, Rings of Power will be bathed in Cheetos dust. Oh, gross. That's one of the best things about getting a silicone ring, in addition to me being able to like go outside and do like use tools and stuff without having to worry about it like clanking all the time or like running or damaging it or anything like that. My actual ring, and then or like working out and having it like clink on the bar all the time, is that the silicone ring can like pop off and I can clean underneath it. Like, gross. Thinking of like Cheeto dust getting underneath my ring, just ugh, that's gross. It's gross. You went McDonald's and asked for a 30-piece McNuggets and was told they don't sell them in 30. Ended up getting a 20 and 10. Yeah, can I get a 30-piece nugget? We don't have 30-piece nuggets. Okay. What? We don't sell 30-piece nuggets, sir. They only come in 5, 10, or 20. Can I get a 20-piece nugget and a 10-piece nugget? What kind of sauce with that? Sweet and sour. All right, 2 barbecue. Sure thing. Oh my goodness. I had friends who did like a 100 nugget challenge. And the problem with getting 100 nuggets from McDonald's and trying to do the challenge is that by the time you get to nugget 40, they're cold. So they become just erasers, basically. So you like, yes, you could complete it, but you're not going to have a good time. We need to allow bullying of fat kids. Make them tell their parents they're getting bullied, and when they come to the school and complain, deride them for doing that to their kid. Oh, yes. It's not Billy's fault. He's just, it's just his metabolism. Well, if his metabolism's slow, quit feeding him. Guess what? You'll save money. Watch your food budget shrink and his waistline. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Michelle Obama needs to overthrow the government and enforce not being fat. Was she be better, or like what was hers? I never remember any of these stupid catchphrases. Do we have a new one? Do we have a new first lady catchphrase? I'm gonna look that up now. Is it "Don't fall off the bike"? That'd be funny. Joe Biden catchphrase slogan? Teaching isn't what I do, it's who I am. Doesn't she have a thing? Like, does she not have a thing? Oh, joining forces. I thought that was a good we're joining forces. Stupid. So I'm gonna get her a marketing director. Well, you can't ask for a 30-piece now. You get 3 10-piece nuggets. That might get you more sauces, actually, because I think last time, this would have been like a year ago. Last time I got a 20-piece nugget, they only gave me 3 sauces, and I think you get 2 sauces with a 10-piece nugget. So maybe 3 10s is the way to go. That way you can actually get 6 sauces in there. Back in, you can't even. Well, I can even, and I'll continue to even and odd as I desire. Back in high school, Burger King had the 149 10-piece. We just buy 100 nuggets for us to share. Yeah, that's the only way Burger King can get a customer. Somebody teach Burger King how to make a good French fry, and maybe people will go there. Wendy's French fries suck, but at least they have the Frosty that you can dip it into, and like they've got that fresh, never frozen patty, and it's like blah blah whatever, and then they got an interesting Twitter. But like, who goes to Burger King? They have a creepy mascot that hunts you down, and like they haven't had cheesy shaker fries for 20 years. The only reason to go to a Burger King is gone. Bottom tier, lowest tier. D, F, I don't care what you put down at the bottom. It is the base bottom tier. I would rather go to a hole in the wall that gives me diarrhea every time if the food tastes good than go to Burger King. The new first lady catchphrase: someone catch my husband before he hits the ground. Not another concussion. No. Oh. But seriously, doesn't he have COVID now? Like, how is it we have 2 presidents back to back that both end up getting COVID? And it's like, they're both in the age bracket where you're like, ooh, uh-oh, this isn't good. Probably not the best thing in the world. They probably should take better care of their health, or not be around people who are going to give them COVID. That's probably the opposite. Either way, like, we had 2 world leaders. You can like or hate either one. We shouldn't really have them in a position where they're getting really sick. Especially when they're old enough that it means even more than if I get it, right? I can't believe it. Your family has 2 types of big eater kids, thin and chunky. Oh, man. Billy, you've had enough. You have nothing but peas and carrots for dinner tonight. But Vanessa gets plenty of food. Yeah, because Vanessa's got a metabolism to keep up with whatever she wants to eat, so she gets to eat. Welcome to life. Deal with it. Go do some push-ups, bitch. Like, oh, maybe run around the block. I'm sorry, I didn't buy you a child-sized sports bra for your little tiny man boobs. Get out there and start running, sweating. Oh, I'm gonna be some kind of dad one of these days. Some kind of dad, that's for sure. I think her slogan revolves around calling a group of people tacos. Burger King, yeah, we already talked about that. Okay, new tier list I need from everyone. Fast food tier list. There's got to be an easy fast food tier list we can do here. Over at tier list maker or whatever. Chicken fries, but mega spicy. Even that, meh. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Presentation mode. There we go. Let me finish this first here. The last things you got from BK were the Parmesan chicken sandwich. A Parmesan chicken sandwich? What? There are good sandwich stores you can go to. You go to Jersey Mike's or something. Even a Blimpie. Their knockoff Baconator. The worst commercial for BK was the fake hamburger that tastes just like hamburger. Food needs to taste good in order to put up with a fiery hole. Oh, of course. Of course. But I will deal with it if the food is good. Carl's Jr. is your burger place. 7-Eleven for cheap pizza and dogs. Carl's Jr. pretty damn good. My wife's first ever Carl's Jr. was the Carl's Jr. in Japan. And she's like, oh, this is actually not a bad burger. It's like, you know, fast food. Like it's right at that level right before you cross over into like a Red Robin, right? Like it's a really good burger, but it's that like that quarter-pound patty and everything. Just really, really simple, straightforward burger. Gotta head out. See you around. Have a good one. Pop culture. Ever been to a P. Terry's? No, I don't know who P. Terry is, and I have not eaten their food. Okay, so as I go through this, I am going to be let me rearrange this here real quick. Some stuff is gonna just get stuck on for a little bit until I determine like a location that I want it to go. If that makes sense. Because like, you know, sometimes you put something on a tier list and then you're like, oh, but this one's better. So berate me when it's done and in the middle of it. And a lot of the, like, I've never been to a Blimpies or a Bojangles. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I don't know what these things mean. So we'll go through this. Oh, there's a never had category. What? That seems like a cop-out. We used to have a place called Red Front, but they closed sometimes last year. Oh. I'm going to put A&W in B for right now. Because I don't know what else is going to come on this list. But like A&W is a place that I could be like, yeah, I could go to A&W because they got, you know, they got like, what is it called? A root beer float, right? Like where else do you go for a root beer float? That's a fast food restaurant. It's sort of, it gets me there, right? Arby's I love. I unironically love Arby's. I can make Arby's at home, but all of their sauces, their 6-pepper sauce, their horsey sauce, their they have like 8 sauces on that pump bar, and you just open up your sandwich and you're just like all the way down the line. I actually love Arby's. You get your subs from the corner store. Good. There's a place in Renton called the Original Sub Shop. And it is the best sandwich around. If you can't make it there, get to a Jersey Mike's. That's where we usually go. You go by what you try to get from them and how good that is. You're addicted to their gyros. One of the few places with curly fries, 100%. I love that Arby's, especially like that 6-pepper sauce is like, it's like sweet chili sauce. It's like sweet Thai chili sauce. Baja Fresh is F tier for me. I cannot stand Baja Fresh. Blimpies I've never had. Bojangles I've never had. Boston Market, I don't even know what that is. Also F, but so this side is the bottom of the F. I'm gonna make sure this is always over here. Canes. It's just chicken. I mean, I've only ever had the chicken fingers. I don't know if they have anything else, but it's just not great. Not great. You also like Domino's, but it gets plus ranking because it's really cheap compared to everything else around here. Baja Fresh is you ever heard of Qdoba? It's like a QDOBA or Del Taco. It's like a Del Taco, but worse. Like there's just no flavor. Everything that should be tasty isn't. You're like, oh, this salsa is just tomatoes and onion and vinegar, cilantro, spice, something, a pepper, something. It's awful. It's awful. Everything that should be in there, it just isn't in there. Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. is pretty good. I just talked about that earlier. Checkers, I've not been to, but I think they call it something else where I am, so maybe I have been. Chick-fil-A is not good, and people who think it's good need to rethink what they like. Peter Venkman fan site, I'm calling you out directly here. I went to Chick-fil-A and I got their little like sandwichy things, and I got their little like slider sandwiches, and I was like, oh, these things are kind of like, it's just chicken and bread. And they were like, oh, you got to get the sauces. I'm like, so you're telling me I went to a place that's famous for the sauces, ordered a sandwich, and they didn't offer me sauces when I clearly had no idea that I was supposed to get sauces? Oh yeah, sauces are really good. Okay. So I go back later. I have other friends. We're like, oh, let's go get Chick-fil-A. We go to Chick-fil-A. Different Chick-fil-A even. Different one. We go. I get the chicken, and I get the sauces. Now, I am a sauce boss. I am a connoisseur of the sauce. I'm a sauce man. I'm a sauce fiend. Ranch is just ranch. And their buffalo sauce, McDonald's buffalo sauce is better than the Chick-fil-A buffalo sauce. They run a high vinegar mix on that thin bitch, and it is not worth the dip. Nothing sticks to that chicken when you come in with that sauce. Nothing. I'm getting off my soapbox now, so I'm not going to be over 6 feet anymore. You hate vinegar? Okay, you're just wrong. You just wrong, boy. Acid is a key ingredient, but you can't have a vinegar-only sauce unless it's a vinegar sauce. Like if you have some malt vinegar that you're going to splash onto a fish and chips before you dip it into the tartar sauce, that gives you that little bit of piquance. So you got that rich milkiness from the tartar sauce, a little bit of pickle in there, and then that malt vinegar sort of cuts through, as well as it cuts through kind of the fattiness of the batter on the fish. Boom, boom, malt vinegar, I love it. But my buffalo sauce should stick to my damn chicken so that I can eat it without thinking about having to drink it. They were doing it wrong wherever you went. All right. I'm not wasting time at another one, though. Someone wants to bring me a good Chick-fil-A. Good Chick-fil-A. And how do you do it wrong when the sauces are in little pre-made packs? How can you do that wrong? Don't they get those from the Chick-fil-A Central Factory? Oh. Chipotle. I like Chipotle. I like that I can do a burrito bowl, and they just put my burrito in a bowl, and it's cheaper than doing the bowl things. It's very strange. But I also like that you can just go down the line and you're like that, and it's just the same price until you get to the guac, and then it's like extra $1 for guac, and you're like, of course I want just put it in there. I love places that let you make your own, as long as the ingredients that they're putting in there are pretty dang good. You wondered why you really despise vinegar. Apparently, it could have been because you ate rotten fruit when you were young. But who knows? But the smell is absolutely revolting to you. It is old wine, kinda. Like, it is very strange. You blame Seattle and their heathen servers for tainting the most holy chicken. They weren't using the Texas recipe, apparently. But they're packets! packets of sauce? Where do they get the packets from if not Texas? Oh. See, the difference, Serranos, is that I do, like, there's a lot of stuff that I eat that is that sort of rotten, fermenty, should be gross, but I think it tastes good. Like the 1,000-year egg from China. So many cheeses that are just, they smell like feet, but they taste delicious to me. You got so many rotting foods that actually are really good. Dry aged steak, for example, is technically a rotting piece of beef. You're just kind of controlling the rot. So I think vinegar is in that same list where it's just a controlled rot. So everything's all good. Church's chicken, I feel like I've had, but I don't recall. I've never heard of Cookout. Culver's. I have been to Culver's, but they were like, we're famous for our frozen cream, our frozen frozen whatever frozen crap. But they're French fries. They have damn Wendy's fries. Get out of here. Custard, frozen custard, yeah. I was a vulture in my past life. Maybe it's why I can circle around and beat a dead horse all day on stream. Del Taco. I have to put Del Taco in front of Baja Fresh, but only technically. I'm not a fan of those, like once the Mexican restaurant starts going chain, you lose a lot of, there's a lot of good flavor that comes from them not cleaning everything every day. We got a couple places around here called Taqueria Reconcito. Those are freaking delicious, but oh my goodness, can you taste the weeks old grease in the trap when you eat the food? It's so good. Del Taco, too clean, too pristine. I don't like it. Used to get Churches when you lived in Texas. I'll have to try a Churches next time I'm down in Texas. I think I'll be down there maybe this winter. Maybe I'll go down during December. It depends. I've got some other stuff coming up that could be pretty busy. Denny's, you talked to me in high school, I would have put Denny's right here. Today, Denny's, I have been so disappointed so many times. I'm gonna beat Chick-fil-A because Moons Over My Hammy is such a funny name, but I can't rightly put it any higher. Domino's Pizza. That's a low end C tier for me on Domino's. It's good. Not my favorite. DQ coming up with A&W. I love me some DQ. Not only can I go get a chocolate malt, but their flamethrower burgers are actually delicious. They suffer in the fry department, but similar to Wendy's, they pull it up by having an incredible rest of the menu. Dilly bars, hot fudge sundaes, just everything about it. I quite enjoy. You should try Boss Sauce. You just took a whole jug down south to your mom. Boss Sauce. Mild, hot, thick, blue cheese, and jerk flavored Boss sauces. Gourmet. They have a mild. What else they got? BossSauce.com. Hot. Blue. Yeah. Is this a what is it? What is Boss Sauce? Denny's is a restaurant, not fast food, especially on Saturday or Sunday. Oh, hilarious. What is Boss Sauce? I don't see a flavor profile anywhere here. I just see hot and mild. And it's kosher. You've never heard of the blue cheese one? It just says with blue cheese. And then there's thicker, richer. and Boss Jerk sauce. But a privately held company. Company was first opened in Canal Street. American manufacturing. Blah, blah, blah. They do that. A note from the boss. For years, my mother prepared lunch, dinner, and a variety of snack plates, topping cooked meats, fish chili with a secret family recipe. A recipe that's been handed down for several generations. While trying to create a unique sauce for my own restaurant, my mother, in her loving manner, suggested I try the secret family recipe. After that, I began to use the secret sauce in my restaurant, just as we had at home. It was an instant success. We all agreed the sauce was the boss of all sauces. From that beginning, Boss Sauce was born. Now we challenge you. Take the ultimate test by preparing your taste buds for tantalizing, sweet, spicy, hot, or mild gourmet after sauce that surpasses all others. Huh. I'll have to pick some up. It's a sauce you put on rub chicken ribs. On ribs and chicken. Okay. I'll try it out. I love sauces. That is a thing that I forever enjoy. Always enjoy sauces. Any place with a waitress and a sit-down menu is not fast food. Sticking to your guns. Yes. The only thing would be maybe you call it a waitress if she brings it out to you. Pollo Loco I've never been to. Firehouse Subs I've never been to. Okay, I know I shit on Five Guys earlier, but they have got some delicious French fries. And it's a place that you can get like a hot dog and put a ton of stuff on. I'm putting this in high C. High C. IHOP. I'm going also in that Denny's category. It's like, hey, this doesn't really belong, but sure. In-N-Out. Eat your heart out, bitches. In-N-Out's not that great. Not that great. I'll put it at the top of the D tier, but yeah, I was displeased, we'll say, after all the hype. And then I got there and I was like, this is just a burger with like thicker onions. What are we doing here? They were competing with the Smitties / Snuffies. We used to get a plate from Smitties with the sauce on it. Nice. You love the burger and fries at Five Guys. The only problem is that the price takes it towards actual good food. That is true. Jack in the Box. Oh, I also hate Jack in the Box, but I love Jack in the Box. Curly fries, tacos, milkshakes. But then they also, if I eat Jack in the Box, I feel awful afterwards. Okay, Jack in the Box. Jersey Mike's, B tier, easy. I love Jersey Mike's. Give me a giant sub. I freaking love it. Jimmy John's, the only place that can make an unwich. They were like, oh, all these bitches want low carb wraps. What if we actually made it so that you could actually eat the damn thing out of like you could have a lettuce engulfed sandwich that just is packed with meat. There's so much meat in there, and it's wrapped with lettuce, because then you don't have all the extra like thickness of the bun or anything. Like, holy crap, Jimmy John's. I don't know how you did it, but I'm glad you did. Jollibee, dang good. You're beating Arby's, but you kind of one trick pony there. Jack's mascot, yeah. KFC, oh, you asked child me, KFC would have been right here. You ask me today, KFC is not the KFC I grew up with. It is a different place. Different place entirely. Little Caesars is hot and ready's that they always buy when you're at like a warehouse and they're like, we got everybody pizza, and they got a bunch of $5 hot and ready's, and you're like, oh, great. KFC is so damn bad now. Long John Silver's, I feel like I've been there, but again, I don't really think I have. All right, a defining factor here, because I feel like everybody knows where they would put McDonald's in the list. Everybody knows where it belongs, right? It goes right there. That's where I put it. This out of the way. Noodles and Company. I've never heard of that. The only time I ate Long John Silver is you got sick. Never again. You always got to give it one more chance. You give it the one time you get sick, you try it again. F me, what? What What was that in relation to? Because I've never eaten noodles and company. All right, Panda Express. So you can't believe I put McDonald's that low. I stuck it right next to In-N-Out. Isn't that tell you what I think about it? So I love Chinese food. For Christmas, on New Year's, every year my family would get Chinese food. We'd go to a place called the Ming Tree. We'd go to another place called Lotus. Like one was in Bellevue, the other one was in like Auburn, like the Red Lotus down there. They were delicious. My buddy, during all of high school, is like, dude, let's get Panda. Dude, let's get Panda. Dude, let's get Panda. And it's such steam table food. You're like, it's food, and it's cheap, and I'm in high school, sure. And then he gets back from being away for a long time, and we go together and get some Panda. He's like, oh, dude, you want to get some Panda? And we got the Panda, and we sat there, and I looked over, and he was just kind of staring in his bowl, and he looks up to me, and he's like, this isn't as good as I remember it. I was like, dude, it's never been good. It has never been good. I'm crazy. Panda above Denny's? Have you been to a Panda Express? Put respect on McDaniel's name. All right. Is that better? Is that better for McDonald's? If McDonald's actually cleaned their ice cream machines, they'd be available more than a few hours in a day. They'd be C tier. In the same line as Denny's. Oh my goodness. Panera Bread. Have you ever been here? Because all of the food is way too expensive and never as good as it's supposed to be. It thinks it's really good food. It's not good food. It thinks it's a bakery. It's not a bakery. It thinks it's, you know what it is? Panera Bread is a place for high school girls to go study math. That's all it is. That's all they do is they have a single demographic that goes to Panera Bread, and everybody else is like, why am I here? Papa John's always drove me nuts. I hate Papa John's. Maybe it's that every time I go get Papa John's, all the people that order Papa John's get like the shitty Papa John's, but I've never had a good Papa John's. No, never been there. You hate Panera? They ruined bacon. How is that possible? Weren't you just arguing that McDonald's should go higher up? Arguably, they ruined bacon long before Panera even thought about existing. I gotta get a few of these never hads out of here. All right, Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is my pizza place. I love our Pizza Hut. It's close. It's the little, like, it's the franchise that, like, the Pizza Hut you go to matters. You go to a good Pizza Hut that's cooking everything properly, using the right amount of layers. They actually care. They're throwing enough pieces on each pie. Like, Pizza Hut matters about which one you go to. And the one that is right next to me is amazing. They are very good. You thought it was hipsters with man buns? No, it's the hipsters with man buns are behind the counter, worrying about being maps all day. Those are the hipsters with man buns. They're getting hung on walls. Popeyes. Ooh, this is a hard one because Popeyes has a couple really good things that I've had there, but nothing else has really stood out. Which I think sticks it right here. Portillo's, I don't know. Yeah, because the couple things that I've had are really good, but most of what I've had is very just meh. Just meh. Gumbo. Potbelly. Ooh, this one Ooh, I think Potbelly beats out Jersey Mike's. Potbelly sandwiches, if you haven't been there, they used to be an antique store, and they sold a bunch of stuff, but they couldn't sell a Potbelly stove, and so the Potbelly stove became like the mascot for the sandwich shop that they opened up. They have a spicy pepper mix that they make themselves. It's so good, and you can ask for double. You can be like, give me extra, and they'll just do it. You don't have to like pay for extra. They'll just put more on your sandwich. And every sandwich they make, you can get as a salad too. So if you want to go like full on super healthy, then you can get, just give me the sandwich, but in a salad form, and they'll just do it. Sonic is D or F tier. Oh, there's some Sonic hate in there. Qdoba. Qdoba I prefer over Chipotle. But does it go Carl's Jr.? I think it does. I think Pizza Hut does too, honestly. Pizza Hut probably goes above Jollibee. Hold on. Let me reorganize these a little bit. Sonic is mad, but the drinks are legit. I saw an ad for a Shark Week drink, like a blue drink where it came with a gummy shark, and I love gummy sharks. So even though I don't like Sonic, I may go just to get the gummy shark. Even though I could just go to a candy store like an adult and buy gummy sharks if I wanted to. It's Quiznos subs. They are good. They are good because they toast them. They have a pepper bar. F tier. I love that pepper bar, but Quiznos, not so good anymore. Roy Rogers. I have seen Sbarro. I have smelled Sbarro. I have been in cafeterias where Sbarro exists. Never been. I always look at it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go get teriyaki instead. That sounds better to me right now. The Shark Week drink is blue coconut, strawberry sauce, and gummy sharks. Does it taste like blue curacao? Because if it tastes like blue curacao, then I love it. You can't eat their blizzards, but you like their burgers. Interesting. Shake Shack. I think Shake Shack thinks it's better than it is, but it is damn good. The last time I had Shake Shack in Vegas, and I got one of their burgers, but their actual meat is really freaking good. Really freaking good. Sheets, I don't know what that is. Skyline Chili. Sonic, I'm sorry, you cannot be higher than F tier. Steak and Shake. You're shocked that McD's and Denny's are on the same tier. Perhaps you're a breakfast person before a hamburger person. I would rather have the McDonald's hash browns than Denny's hash browns. If that helps answer any questions for you. We're almost done here. Subway, you're going with Quiznos because your bread is not great. Steak and Shake. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I've been here, but I don't remember it at all. And all I can think of is Shake Shack. So I'm gonna put you here until I have like a sudden memory. You're shocked. You're shocked that I prefer the tiny. You get more fried to unfried potato ratio in the puck than you do in the Denny's like giant soft piece of shit. You have to remember, my uncle owned Tweed's Cafe out in North Bend. So he owned what was the R&R diner. So when it comes to breakfast, if you want to be good breakfast, you better be the best breakfast. If you're not the best breakfast, and you're going to serve me a side of hash browns that's all kind of like soft and like maybe the top is kind of golden, but nothing's really, consistently golden throughout, get out of here. I want those hash browns looking like a haystack. I want every single individual shred of potato nicely fried. You don't have hash browns ever? That's crazy idea. Fries better than hash? Yeah, fries are delicious, but better than hash browns? Interesting choice. Taco Bell. I hate you, but I love you. Wait, why is Arby's up here? What is Arby's doing up here? Arby's isn't up here. Arby's is Arby's is better than Panda. Panda's not better than these. Okay. Taco Cabana, never heard of. Torchy's Tacos sounds hilarious. Waffle House, I've seen but never been to. Wawa, you're not even trying anymore. You do not like hash browns. Do you like French fries? Both good with ketchup. That is true. Wendy's. Wendy. You can hang out with Arby for right now, Wendy. Whataburger. So Whataburger is always too oily, even at a family diner. Ooh, see, and that's the problem. You're getting the oily, greasy, floppy, nasty ones, and not the ones where every layer is crisp. Let me make you some hash browns, and you'll be like, okay. Fries, yes. Tots, not really. Hash, no. Serranos, have you never been to a Taco Time? You're within distance of Taco Time. I know you have to be, and you don't like tater tots? I haven't heard of Taco Cabana. No, I haven't. Where would I have heard of a taco? Let me just Google Taco Cabana, and you can triangulate my location by me telling you the closest Taco Cabana to me. The closest Taco Cabana. Nope. Okay. The closest Taco Cabana to me appears to be in what is this city? Show me what this city is. I want you to show me the city. The closest Taco Cabana to me is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is, by car, 1,400 miles away. And that's the straight road. It would take me a $500 flight to go down to Albuquerque to taste Taco Cabana. Oh, man. You've never been to Taco Time? Oh, my goodness. Serranos, I'm about to blow your mind. Go to Taco Time, get a beef taco salad. Use the app to order it so you can add the jalapenos without them looking at you weird, but add jalapenos to your beef taco salad. Get the ranch dressing, and then when you get there, make sure that they give you plenty of the Taco Time hot sauce. Taco Time hot sauce is key to enjoying your Taco Time. You then dump the dressing and the hot sauce into your beef taco salad, and then your taco salad is going to come with chips. Use those chips to eat your salad. Do not eat your salad with a fork until you run out of chip. Once you run out of chip, then you can eat it with a fork. But just trust me. Trust me, it'll blow your mind. You don't like ranch? Oh my goodness. What? Okay, well, you at least have to go to Taco Time. There's going to be something on the menu you like. On the placemats that come on your tray, it shows you everywhere in Washington that they get all of their ingredients from. It is the most hyper-local thing you can go to. Plus, they do the good thing when it comes to save the planet. Rather than, oh, you got to recycle this and throw that away and do this and do that. Everything, fork, spoon, bowls, the bag that it comes in, everything just goes in the compost pile. You just throw it all in the compost bin. And you're like, oh, I've used compostable spoons. They don't work in hot soup. The Taco Time spoons work in hot soup. I don't know how they did it, what they did, but the Taco Time stuff all works. And at the end of the meal, you're not like, oh, what recycles, what throws away? You just throw the whole damn thing in the compost bin. It's amazing. Ranch is a travesty. What? How? We don't have anime characters enjoying American food? Yes, we do. They go to McDonald's. Have you not seen The Devil is a Part-Timer? Taco Bell's the best one. I clearly have Del Taco way down here and Taco Bell way up here. And Taco Bueno, again, let me Google Taco Bueno and tell you where the closest or you mean Taco Bueno? If you mean Bueno, there is actually some that are supposedly closer to me, but let's see. Taco Bueno. It's pulling up Taco Times. I got to keep backing out. It won't pull up Taco Bueno. It keeps pulling up a place called Picado Bueno that I've never heard of. Taco Time sounds pretty based. You should try some. It is freaking delicious. And I always get like the same couple things. It's either that salad or it's that salad but wrapped up in a burrito. And their Mexi fries are so freaking good. You'd love to go to a Wiener Schnitzel, but a time machine is required. Probably one of the best in 1960. Wait, do you not know what ranch is, Peter Venkman fan site? Like Hidden Valley ranch dressing. It's the most American thing you've ever had. Doritos, the blue Doritos, the cool ranch Doritos. Those are ranch like flavor powder. But you mix the ranch flavor powder with, I think it's sour cream, and you mix it up, and that makes ranch dressing. Or you can just buy it pre-mixed in the aisle. You like Hidden Valley Ranch is like the original ranch, but I think everybody makes their own ranch now. You can't put ranch on buffalo wings ever. Never, ever, never, ever are you allowed to put ranch on buffalo wings. Buffalo wings are covered in buffalo sauce, which is half Frank's, half margarine, not butter, margarine. 50-50 that, heat it up, get it going. Your wings, you deep fry them. I'll let you use an oven to do like a convection bake so you can sort of air fry them. That's okay, but we need crisp. We need crisp ass skin on these wings. Those wings then get dunked in that Frank's and margarine mixture, and then they are set aside. They get dipped in blue cheese and blue cheese only, motherfucker. And if you don't want to dip them in blue, you cannot eat them. Or take them straight. I don't care. But if you're not dipping your actual buffalo wings in blue cheese, out of my house. Out of my house. Texas insists on giving you ranch instead of blue. Oh. Hate it. Whataburger. Whataburger is the only reason that I half believe you when you say that the Texas Chick-fil-A is better. Because I have been to Whataburger in Oklahoma, and it was meh, meh, meh. And I've been to Whataburger in Texas, and it was quite a bit better. Not fantastic, but it was quite a bit better. I quite enjoyed it, but only in Texas. The Oklahoma Whataburger was garbage. It tasted like it had sat in the like the warming tray in the sack and like started to liquefy. Like it was just weird. Blaine just became the Michael of buffalo wings. Dude, I've been the Michael of buffalo wings since I learned the original recipe. White Castle, I've actually never been to either. Wiener Schnitzel. Wait a minute. I think I have been to a Wiener Schnitzel. Hold on. There was a Wiener Schnitzel in the Armory at in Seattle for a long time. I just need to double check to see if it was still. No, now it's down in Puyallup. I haven't been there. Haven't been there. Wings over. Wingstop. God, Wingstop is such a disappointment every time. They have okay wing flavors. They do okay with the baking. Their French fries are sweet. They have like sugar in their fries, so like powder, and it's just awful. And every time I go, I'm like, I could just make wings. I could just go to Safeway and buy the bag of party wings, throw it in the oven until it gets crispy, and mix up my own Frank sauce because I buy it at Costco by the gallon. You can't trust an Okie to do anything right. That's true. That is true. All right. I think I have to do this. I think these guys can sit at the back of that line instead of the front of this line. If I'm ever in the southeast, Waffle House is a must. Promise. What about Zaxby's? I stuck it right down here where I've never been to one before. Do I need to play this game again? Zaxby's. Oh my gosh, is there a Zaxby's? Okay, no, the closest Zaxby's to me is in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City. That would be 835 miles away from me. And no, I haven't been to one in one of these other locations. Okay. What am I gonna do here? Oh, Qdoba, I mean, you really are just Chipotle, but a little better. Oh, you didn't see me put it there? You went once and hated it. This is kind of an interesting quandary here. Best sandwich, best burger. And I think that frees me up to pizza and... Oh, but it's so bad. But it's so good. F tier that. Split these because I don't like red next to red. Would I rather go to... There it is. There it is. Based on the list I was given, here are my answers. And I will tell you right now, the easiest way that something could pop into this list and jump straight up to the best is teriyaki. I would count teriyaki as fast food 10 times out of 10. I go in, I say, I want spicy chicken teriyaki, and they're like, okay, 1 minute. And then a minute later, it shows up, and I walk out the door with my teriyaki. Its one problem is that 90% of teriyaki locations are closed on Sundays, but that's just because the historically Korean population that runs them in this area is also highly Christian, so they will be closed on Sundays because it's a family-run thing. But if you put teriyaki on here, teriyaki takes #1 spot, period, anytime. I freaking love some spicy chicken teriyaki. I'll rank all the spicy chicken teriyaki in the area. That would be its own tier list. I think I'm done. I'm done with this. Maybe Cane's here. No, I like Wendy's more than I like... I'm gonna F Panera. And Wingstop is worse than Subway. Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm done. Twitter. Make a Twitter. Do you disagree? Then you are wrong. Period. Oh. attach this image. Where is this image? It's just in downloads. Okay. No, I'm hungry. Thanks a lot. D tier is a shocking tier. Well, that's good. I can't be the YouTube's good boy of anime. That's already taken. We already have Sea Dog for that. He can be the good boy of anime. Somebody's got to come in and say, you know what? Here's what I think. It may be obtuse, but get red pilled, motherfucker. This is how fast food is. That's 2 MFers in a short span here. I don't know why. I don't know why. That was fun. That was fun. Thank you for bringing that up. I I was just planning on talking about Japanese gods all day. Oh, maybe I'll bring up the 5-person fry. That always makes me giggle. Japanese McDonald's family fry. Yeah, this thing. So the first time I went to Japan, I saw this thing, and it's served as like a like a group thing or a family thing. Like you buy one for everybody, and I was like, hell no, I'm from America. I eat the whole dang thing. So here is on the right is the mega fry, and on the left is the normal large fry. It's literally the size of 2 large fries. It's so big that right about here in the package is actually a like stabilizing brace that goes from front to back. It's freaking huge. I ate the whole thing. And I also got like a shrimp burger on accident. So I ended up eating a shrimp burger, which is not bad, but when you order it thinking it's going to be like a fish burger and then it's shrimp on the inside, you're like, oh, that was a different flavor than expected. If I've seen the documentary Demolition Man, you'd know Taco Bell is the best and clear winner in the franchise wars. Yeah, well, not all of us have learned how to use the 3 shells and still walk around all messy. So maybe when they come out with a better version, they remake Demolition Man. Oh, what if they race swap Demolition Man? How funny would that be? Oh, the commie potato. Yep, exactly. Commie potato. Great potato. We all clap, bow for that potato. Thank you very much, everybody. This was a blast. Always a good time. We stretched it to a full 3 hours with that one too. So you have made me roast in 85 plus degrees, maybe closer to 87 degrees for the last hour that I wasn't expecting to do. Don't give them ideas. I think it would be great. It would be hilarious, especially since Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes are still alive. You posted your list in the Discord. Yes, the Discord. The thing I don't have links for ever. Let me post a Discord link here. Also, we could do locals. We can always chat on locals. We can chat on Twitter. No, I don't want Nitro. I don't want this free offer Nitro. I just want to invite people. Stallone isn't a redhead. He might be. We don't know. But it would be funny to see Stallone in the villain role in a movie that he was originally the hero in. Snipes isn't in prison, is he? For tax evasion or whatever? I don't know. I've been looking any of that up, but it would be pretty funny to me if we just switched their roles and had him do a remake. Grandpa Demolition Grandpa. There you go. There's your next movie, Hollywood. Anyway, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will catch you all tomorrow for our Titillating Tuesday show. I look forward to seeing you there, and we will have a wonderful time. Kampai.